my sweet things. In this video, I'm going to get a full channeled message for you, channeling the Lords and Guardians of the Akashic Records, which are like the monitored blueprint of the soul about a specific invitation to work with your own Akashic Records. Now, as Spirit does, I had another agenda for this evening. I was going to shoot a different video for you guys, and they came in and said, this is what you're going to do, and we really think you're going to enjoy it. And I was like, okay, here we go. So this is the beautiful topic of this video. Where do I want to start? Hello. Welcome, my little sweethearts. I'm feeling so adoring right now, so that's what you're going to get out of me right now. Remember to go like this video. If you are new and haven't subscribed yet, please go tap that subscribe button. I really think you're going to enjoy my content, like seriously. Tap the bell for notifications so you don't miss any energy updates. I go live all the time. If you do the notifications, you will know when I go live several times a week. So that's awesome sauce too. And if you are new and you like personal development, spiritual videos, merging shadow and light, doing all amazing spiritual work, then subscribe, because that's all I do. Okay, what else do I have for little announcements? If you do love the Akashic Records, hi, sweetheart. Oh my gosh, I'm happy you guys are in here live, and thank you for being here. Thank you for anyone that comes and watches the video after, everyone rather, because all the views come afterward. Okay, she's getting sidetracked. She's also a little saucy today. I gotta get it out now because they're gonna move a channel through me. I'm not gonna be able to be me as much, so you get all the me right now. Okay, so if you're new to the Akashic Records and you want to learn how to read your Akashic Records, I have a 7-part free Akashic Records video training where when you sign up, I'll leave the link in the description below. It's immelina.com/training. When you sign up, I'll send you a few emails, a week worth of emails with the videos on each email, as well as like a link to binge watch all of them. I get really, really great feedback on these videos. There are 2 like long, good master classes in there too that you guys are gonna love. You can get your feet wet, starting to get into your Akashic Records through your own meditation practice, which is really like, if you guys have heard like fine tuning, you're adjusting your own subtle energy body, or shifting into activating your 12th strand or even more DNA at the energetic level. You can do all of that in the Akashic Records. In fact, just by you entering your own Akashic Records, it's like a very special zone of genius field that you have access to your soul. So it's kind of like plugging out of the matrix and like plugging into your soul database, like with a flash drive. Let's say you've been running on like Windows or DOS, like 1998, whatever, like I'm tripping over my words now. And then you like plug into brand new like 2024 and you get all of those upgrades. Like it's very similar. When you enter this space of your Akashic Records and you go into meditation in this practice, your energy, without even having an active intention around it, is like automatically upgraded. Your software, your energy system, your consciousness is just upgraded just by going in. In fact, we have a lot of contracts with our soul where in certain past lives or parallel realities, we will do conscious work with the Akashic Records and agree to work with the Akashic Records just to get soul upgrades, to sync up. It's like a, how do you guys want to explain this? It's like a syncing up of all of the previous data that you've lived. Like when you go into the Akashic Records, it's like taking an energy shower across all of your multidimensional realities. Anyway, if that sounds like a good vibe for you, stay tuned in this video and go check out my free training. Okay, what else do I want to say? Oh my gosh, I have to tell you guys, if you haven't heard yet, I am starting an oracle deck, and by starting, I mean I'm designing an oracle deck called Sacred Prayers, and I was working on it today. And I got some more prototyping things going on. It's really beautiful. I'm gonna cry at this stuff. Every time I look at them, I'm like, they're so beautiful. I'm so happy with it. But anyway, if you wanna jump on the, my gosh, the wait list for when I launch Sacred Prayers, I'm gonna be doing a pre-launch, like a Kickstarter. And you guys are gonna be there with me in the entire process of creating this deck. This is the prototyped deck. They're all specific prayers. Those of you that have been following me know how rad they are. Anyway, that link is in the description below as well, where you can jump on the pre-launch list. And trust me, you're gonna want to, because I am known to do cool shit, give things away, add extra bonuses, all the things. Okay, I think that's the end of my brief announcements. So right now, for you guys to know, I am in the Akashic Records. Before I jumped on this stream, they shifted me out of my personal Akashic Records, and they always bring me into the collective of light workers on the planet that are conscious light workers. Collective. Indigos, crystals, rainbow children, all the above. And what they said to me is they wanted me to like make an announcement effectively, and then they had me retitle the video. And anyway, I had other plans, like I said, but it's fine. That's how spirit works, by the way. For those of you that don't know, like, you think you know what you're doing. You think you have an agenda. You think you have plans, and then spirit goes, nah, you're going this way. We're so happy you're happy, but that's not what you're doing. And if any of you wonder why I wing it a lot, it's because spirit is always changing what I want to do. So I've just become very like fluid. Or as Bruce Lee says, be like water, my friend. So I'm very good with the flow. Anyway, what they wanted me to explain to you guys. This video, from what I understand, is an opening and transmission and an invitation for you to work with your Akashic Records. Now, I'm just going to check in with them. Hold on. If there's agreement, I'm going to try. I'm dancing on like a fine line territory because I haven't fully understood this concept that's happening right now. But like, if there's an agreement between the Akashic Records, my higher self, and your higher self, as in, how do you guys want me to explain this? There's a sacred invitation, okay? There are different invitations given into the Akashic Records. They are saying mine is an invite only. In order to gain the access that comes with knowing me, which I'll try to explain in more detail, you do need an invitation from me. That invitation has to be made in an appropriate way where there's an equal, like, I don't want to say reciprocity, but vibrational access, like you're given clearance or not given clearance. I don't know why they're asking me to explain all of this. I also know this sounds a little bit, I don't want to say egoic, but like kind of like it's a little, not like pompous, but they told me, they were like, you need to say these things and we need you to say them in this way. So that is what I'm doing. And I'll try to explain this in a little more detail. So let me ask them again about the clearance levels, and then I'm going to go into what my specific invitation is, what they just channeled through me, and then we'll move into a full transmission. All right? So here we go. Okay. If you're listening to this video right now and you feel called to access the invitation that Emelina is going to lay forth, there is a process or procedural awareness in order to gain this specific level of access. Okay, you guys, so why, let me think about how to question this. They're just like, don't worry, Emelina, we've got it. I'm like, okay. I'm dancing on a line of discernment right now, just so you guys know, as I always do, but it feels a little more heightened. So the clearance levels will be given based on the quality of your own intention, while also we are going to be vetting your past history of your ability to discern integrity for the self. If you are wildly out of alignment within your own sanctity of your own personal union of who you are and how you move in this world, alongside and with embracing your soul activations and your soul self, you will not be given access. I don't know if I just said that in the right, they're streaming through me, but if you're not in integrity with your soul self, the access will be denied, is what's being shown. And they are setting the rules ahead right now so that I can go into the full channel. Again, for you guys to know, mediums, channels, this is like pretty vulnerable for me. And they told me to do it live. I said, wouldn't this be nice if it were pre-recorded? And they said, Emelina, you're gonna do this live and we're putting you in the hot seat. And I said, okay, spirit. Fine. They're moving all this through me on purpose, the way that I'm acting. We'll get to that. Okay. You've already been given, there's like a pre-sorting of the clearance access levels. Those of you that are mostly in integrity but have some of your aspects of your lives that are not in integrity or that are in more shadow aspects that aren't integrated are going to be given, oh my gosh, give me the words. They're giving me energy right now, but you're going to be given a staged access where you're able to unlock the invitation based on the amount of personal integrity you can hold within your life. So they're showing me 80% integrity metrics. So those of you that are working a lot with the light, that are very integrated at the 80% level, you will be given this invitation. Also, not guaranteed, but I'm tossing that back up to the Akashic Records because I want to make sure my guardians are watching everything. Because they said my invitations are very sacred. And they wanted me to offer it to you guys. So that is what this is, but I'm also catering to the discernment levels on like what I need to look out for myself, and they're cueing me into that as well. I don't know that you guys know this, but I tend to walk like fine lines in consciousness. So like, it's like, if you go like this, you're going to be out in some like weird dark place. And if you go like this, you're going to float off in some cloud and like not be able to ground it. And I'm always like right on the center line always. So I feel like I'm teetering a little bit. Anyway, that's enough of me explaining it. This is my human self. I'm uncomfortable. That's what you guys are seeing from me right now. Okay. Oh, I'm uncomfortable. All right. What else do you guys want to say before I do my full channel? Play. You're here to play. They're asking me to go into the notes. So I literally wrote this down as the channel right before I jumped on the stream. So there are many different Akashic Records invitations or initiations. You can think about them like invitations into events or like specific clubs. This is actually what they said to me. So first thing, they said, I have a specific set of gifts. And when I extend an invitation, those who wish to work in the Akashic Records from my invitation are immediately elevated. So it's like, if you're used to like standing, like they showed it to me like going to a location where there's a lot of souls trying to get in, and you have to like stand in line, and you have to be able to prove your salt. You have to be able to prove your worth. They're showing it to me like restricted sections. So let's say you're walking into this library of art, this library of the soul, this database. You don't have a password to go directly to your life purpose. That's what's being shown to me. You don't have a password to clear your karmic realities. What you have a password for is, oh, you have an interest in attending college. Okay, here's an entrance exam. And they start throwing you through spiritual tests to see whether or not you're even conscious enough as a human to be able to hold the level of integrity that comes with specifically the level of work that I do. So, and this is all like really interesting for me to even channel this, because I didn't even know. I know that I'm very elevated, but I didn't know exactly how. So they're telling me that the invitation that you get, it's like an energetic soul invitation. You get fast tracked as long as you're in 80% integrity, according to whatever metrics they're sorting you guys through. It's like the sorting hat in Harry Potter. They've been throwing so many Harry Potter references to me. Okay, so essentially through my invitation, you're fast tracked through likeness. So it's like a pre-approval, okay? Instead of getting a credit card, you're like getting into the restrictions section of the Akashic Records so you can learn how to clear your karma, step into your dharma, and become the creator of your life, which is a huge responsibility. And most souls, although we say we could have access to it, most souls don't have access to it because they're not just giving you the God pen if you are like a toddler. They're showing me like pooping your pants. Like it's not like there are different levels of consciousness, okay? So you need to get through your clearance levels and prove that you can actually do this work. My energy has a lot of that clearance attached to it. If you're in this vibe, probably you're going to vibe with this. Anyway, so this is literally the words they said to me before I jumped on stream. They said it's like being able to get through a bouncer at the door at a nightclub. So if you want my invitation, you can get into the chill nightclub called the Akashic Records, so you can learn your soul purpose, so you can clear your karma, so you can do the things that I do and play and have fun. And that's what they told me. I was like, what sort of invitation are we talking about? I was like, what gifts? I was like, tell me more. Here's what they said to me, which now makes sense after hearing it. They said that my ascension work is through play, which it is. It's through the sacred feminine. For me, it's through play. I have worked very, very hard to get to the point where all of my ascension work is through play. Okay. My ascension practice is play. It's why you guys see me so aloof, so fun, so vibrant, so playful, is because that is my ascension work. Now, what they said to me is they said all work and no play is boring. A lot of ascension work is all work and no play. Most of the ideas of what you guys would see enlightenment is like sitting on mountaintops, giving up all earthly possessions, eating very little, like that's all the all work and no play. Now, the way that my ascension work works, which I didn't really consciously completely get until this moment anyway, is that my work is play and my play is work. They are literally interchangeable for me. It's not that I'm just like, oh, I'll play, I'm not paying attention. It's like literally the way that I work with my energy and my soul is that my soul feeds play through me, knowing that that's the way that I express the work. All right, so they're the same for me. Work and play is the same, but I express through play. And what they said to me is it's just the more fun ascension practice. If you want to be spiritually elevated and enlightened while having fun, see about checking in with the Akashic Records invitation that I'm giving you to bypass the bouncer to get into the nightclub. Can we call it the light club? Does it have to be the nightclub? Can it be the day club? The sunshine club? Anyway, sorry. I'm just like going off. So anyway, that's the scoop of what they asked me to say to you guys. They're also bringing me to my Nag Champa. So I am going to light this and then I'm going to sit with them and I'm going to speak through the message that they have for you on the Sacred Akashic Records invitation. And that this is specifically an invitation to make your ascension work more playful. And again, they're telling me that has to be, I don't want to use the word deserved, but they're using the word deserved with me. I don't like that because it makes it feel like you have to deserve play, but they're saying, oh, I get it. The reason why I can play so much is because I really, I have done my work. I'm a soldier. I have done my work. I have done all my discipline. And then there's a point where you, like for me, like I kind of just like graduated out of that. And my guides were like, do you want to have some fun? And I was like, please. Like, that would be great. And now all of my work is now shifted into that. But because of the work that I've done and the work that I do, I'm holding all of that conscious integrity in my energy fields and in the work and the container that I build for others in the Akashic Records. And this is a large part of my soul mission, is helping people access their soul data, their soul missions, their soul purpose, their life purpose, clearing everything that held them back, and taking the pen and becoming the God creator self and writing your new contracts. That is what I'm here to help people with in this lifetime and everything that I do. And I know that. But what they're showing me is that comes with a severe amount of responsibility. So they're like, okay, if you're more, this is literally the language they're using. Emelina would not use this language, okay? But they're like, if you were a toddler in the room, like, we're not going to give you the things that we would explain to the adults. or to the like young adults even, or I would, and for you guys to know, I wouldn't normally use that language because that has an air of like being demeaning, but that is how they're speaking through me. Also, for you guys to know, the Akashic records will speak differently through everyone that's channeling them, but in general, they are very direct. They are very no bullshit. They do not fluff anything. And if you don't understand something, you might need to ask 2 or 3 times for it to be explained in another way, because they are very data efficient. Is that appropriate? Very. They're like, yes, and we will not explain ourselves twice. Like it's like, let me think about how to explain this, because this is the first energy that's coming through for the transmission that I'm giving you guys through this channel. And this is an activation. It is a transmission that will meet you where you are, with whatever invitation you're given access to for the Akashic records based on your level of consciousness and awareness. Everyone has and can have access to their own Akashic records. This specific invitation that they've been channeling through me is the invitation to step immediately into a play-oriented ascension path, which is, generally speaking, very, very hard earned. So you're you're getting an in for something a little, I don't want to call it, I mean, it is easier. It's really just more fun. It's about like, I don't know. Okay, anyway, hold on. Let's tie it up. I want you guys to know that I am much more playful than they are, okay? I know you guys can't see them, but they are standing over me. And they are like, for those of you that have worked in the Akashic records, they are very friendly and very kind, but they are like, they're very stoic. All right, I don't know if I've ever explained this to people before. They are stoic. They generally wear hoods. They can be very intimidating because they can see all of you at once and all of your multidimensional realities. And they are like walking into a room of judges. They're not mean. I just want to be clear. They're just, okay, I'm going to act it, okay? It's like they're just stoic. They don't have emotion. They don't play. They deal with facts. The Akashic records are facts. They are intentions. They are the past. They are the future based on your trajectory of your ascension work, which is not just this lifetime. We are giving clearance based on all of our multidimensional realities and how much integrity we're holding, how much light, right? Light and integrity are kind of synonymous. How much light you're holding and embodying in your experience across your multidimensional realities. What else would you guys like to say? Okay, I'm just going to kind of stream through a little bit. They're like, we want them to know just how stoic we are. It's not that we're not here to play. It's that we're here to hold your, not quite feet to the fire, but we're holding your feet on hot coals. How do you mean? Okay, so they're telling me I don't crack. Under spiritual pressure, I don't crack. Like, I don't. So what they're telling me is that there is a process of integration where when you begin to work with the Akashic records, depending on the elevated status you're walking into, if you're walking in without an invitation from a practitioner, and the invitations from practitioners will all vary based on how much integration they personally have. I have ridiculously high integration, so that's why they're opening the floor for this, I guess. And forgive me, guys, I gotta kind of unpack it because they're giving it to me in energy, not in English language. Sometimes they will give me things in English language. This is coming in like packets of visuals for me, and then I have to ask them to give me more data. And I'm just translating. Just give me 1 sec, you guys. Thanks for being here with me. When your feet are held to the fire, and I don't know exactly what that means, so I'll try to get through it, but when your feet are held to the fire, there is an automatic response that you will have energetically. Either you back off and sprint in the other direction, either you choose to hold the fire and feel the pressure of a burn, either you ask for help, or you cry and give up. And they're showing me, generally speaking, those are the paths of entering the Akashic Records. I don't want to scare you guys though. So what do you guys like? Why are you shaking it up like this? What's going on? They're telling me I'm learning how to discern. Okay, give me a sec. The coals to the fire, or I mean your feet to the coals, I'm going to ask them to unpack that. It's not a literal thing, and it's not something to be fearful over. It's an elevation. So let me ask if they can give me a human comparison that is more gentle or accurate, because they're giving it to me in a very stoic way, because they are stoic. You guys will see, like, even in past videos when I've channeled, some of the channels that come through are much more expressive because those are more Pleiadian starseed channels. It depends on the entity types. The specific group that I'm working with in the Akashic Records right now are very dry and very no bullshit stoic, like, we're not giving you more than is necessary. And I'm like, okay, so they're probing me to ask the things that I need to unpack. And you guys will see, like, this is working with the Akashic Records. This is a pure example of like what it can be to work with the Akashic Records. Like, they're not going to hand you everything. They're not handing you the answers to the tests. Like, the tests are your ability to ask the right questions, to comprehend, to learn, to know when to ask more, when not to ask for more, what you can handle, what you can't handle, what you should share, what you shouldn't share, and you are always met with your capacity. That is the one thing I'll say with the Akashic Records is you're given guardians. They're essentially energy chaperones. They will, generally speaking, only give you the consciousness that you can handle without hurting or harming yourself or others. It is kind of like going to school. There are testing grounds. It's like walking into a simulation. Gosh, what's that movie? Inception. If you guys have seen Inception, where like they're doing, I don't know, are they doing magic? They're like messing around with the context of reality. And then they go into like this mirrored reality where, is that Inception or is Inception the dream state? Maybe it's Marvel. There's like a mirror situation, a mirror simulation where whatever you create for magic in the mirrored simulation won't affect the real world. That is kind of like the Akashic Records. That is how I see I see them as a training ground. Those of you that are new to doing this work, when you enter the Akashic Records, you're being given simulation territories, training grounds to test and try different things. Those of you that are new, they will give you, they'll give you a combination, they'll give you softballs, and then they'll occasionally throw you a curveball just to see what your comprehension level is energetically. A lot of this for you guys to know isn't all conscious. A lot of it is dream state work. It is like when you are going to sleep, you are going into the Akashic Records, you're going into training, into school, you're working with them. Then when you wake up, you're able to comprehend more of your soul as a human. That might just look like, I don't know, picking a different restaurant than you usually do and being like, actually, I kind of prefer that. Not realizing that the restaurant that you just chose that's different than the other one that you normally go to is like literally more of a vibrational match to your soul blueprint. It's like that. It's like being able to see what relationships are more pleasing to you, like as you start working in your Akashic Records, because you'll attract more relationships that are in closer alignment to your vibrational frequency of your soul blueprint. Okay, I think the easiest way I can talk about vibrational frequency is in song or like music. So if you're singing a specific song, I love that they're doing this. Like at the soul level, it's a song. There are layers of melodies going on. And you're singing that song, and that song is you, okay? That song is you. It is your vibrational soul frequency. It's your signature, okay? The way that identities work at the metaphysical quantum energetic level is in signatures. A signature could be a song. It's a lot of different sound waves and light waves packaged into what we would identify as a soul, or what they identify as a blueprint, okay? So if I break down the frequencies again, the vibrational frequencies, you are a song, okay? You are the song. You are a specific song, and it is your name, and that is your identity, and that is your soul fingerprint, your soul identity. And everyone else has these songs too. Other people, other places, other locations on the planet, animals, like everybody has a song, okay? And they're all like singing their little tunes. Some are a little more melancholy, some are a little more peppy. I don't know, some are really dynamic in their highs and lows, in their range, and some are like really narrow. I don't even know, you guys. So if you're singing a specific song, you are in either resonance or dissonance with everything around you. Okay, so like go back to the restaurant scenario. They made it that simple. Like literally it could be you go to sleep, you're in your Akashic records because you started entering your Akashic records for your own meditation practice, and you set an intention to access your Akashic records. Most of this work is done in the astral plane while you are sleeping. And then like, let's say you wake up the next morning and you're like, I want to go out to breakfast and I normally go to this diner. And then you're just like, you know what? Actually, I think I want to go to this place. It's like a little bit different. And you don't know why you make that decision, but it feels good. It just like feels right. It's like that brunch spot, I don't know, breakfast location is singing a specific song that happens to be in the same resonant range as the song that you are singing. So for those of you that aren't musically inclined, it just means it fucking sounds good, okay? It just sounds good, like nothing's like messed up. Now, then there are also, I love that they're explaining it this way. Then there are also dissonant vibrational frequencies, okay? Or like, and a lot of this, they're really describing it to me in wave form, which is sound. But wave form is never a single, it's not flat. It is like sound. It comes in a 3D form. And then based on all of the other vibrational frequencies that layer on top of that form, you may as well think about it like a melody. Like there are many other sounds, and depending on the soul, it comes as a specific song. And then depending on the person, the place, the location, the whatever, there are things that will feel good or not, and it really does come down to a vibrational frequency level. Does that song sound good with my song? Or does it sound like somebody took 2 tin cans and threw them over my head? Or screaming cats? I don't know. Like, that's what they're showing me. So it's understanding that we fit with circumstances, people, places, like puzzle pieces at a vibrational level. And we aren't often consciously aware of the vibrational like puzzle piece fitting. And it's not as simple as a puzzle piece, because a puzzle piece is 2D. The puzzle piece is actually like, I don't know, they're saying 4 to 60. I don't know that I even know what that means. But it's like many different realities and components that have to like click into place for something to be of high resonance. which all of that to say is very complicated, and thank God we can just make decisions based in the human way, which is what feels good. Does this feel good? Yes or no? Are you in or out? And that's like how a lot of intuition works, is does it feel right? Does it feel good? Because if they tried to explain all of that data with every decision you've ever made, you'd be exhausted and probably throw yourself off of a 12-story building. I mean, just like, it's just too much. It's too much. Real human is here right now. The real deal. Okay, I'm gonna check back in with them. They also know, and you guys will see this in some of the courses I've created around the Akashic Records too. I'm very playful. They allow me to be very playful. I'm very like candid and saucy. It is not traditionally how the Akashic Records work. They are stoic. There are rules. There are judges. There are training grounds. There is a capacity for awareness and understanding that has to be proven. There are access levels. They give me a lot of runway. They are reminding me to tell you guys that I have earned it. So that is to say, when you start working with your Akashic Records, don't be as flamboyant as I am in general, because it is an earned right. They're reminding me to drop back into the reverence. They are highly reverent. It is like walking into a court of law with like a board of guardians that are of significant high-ranking status. They're giving me the mental background to describe to you guys what it's like the more psychic you get as you can intuit the data. Most of you will just enter your Akashic Records and be like, I don't know, I'm just like vibing. It just feels kind of like a meditation. I feel a little bit lighter and I think I see some clouds. Like, that's gonna be most of the experience. A lot of this is happening at the vibrational level, where you are attuning to the Akashic Records, you are attuning to your soul blueprint, and you are attuning to the invitations or the access of permissions of which records you are allowed to vibrate in. I would say read, but really it's like what you're allowed to vibrate in or exist in or heal in or bring your awareness around. Which again is a very complicated way. They're streaming it through this way though, of saying you'll naturally be able to make better decisions for yourself that are in higher levels of harmony without having to walk through such as much karma. We don't really get away from karma because karma is cause and effect, and the act of living is a cause and then you have an effect and you kind of got to work it out. But it's like bringing awareness to, I don't know. They're showing me karma like a hoarded room, like somebody had hoarded a bunch of boxes in a room. Like most people want to clear their karma by clearing the room so they have a nice new open space energetically so they can create like new things, which of course will create new karma, but like your future self is dealing with it. Where do you guys want to bring me with that? What's the deal with the karma? The way most of you will be dealing with your karma is the more you sit with the Akashic Records, which is most of what the work is meditation practice. They bring your awareness and attention quite naturally, whether you're in the records or living your daily life. They'll pop into your daily life. You won't even notice. You'll just be making better decisions to gently clean up one box at a time. So what they're telling me is most people, when they do spiritual work, are like, I want to clear all of my karma immediately. Like they want a cleaning crew to come in and clean the entire house, take everything out. And they're like, but then you didn't learn your lessons. You're just going to go collect everything up again. So they don't let people do that. What they will do is they'll make it easier for your conscious mind to see, acknowledge, and recognize the patterns that are no longer working for you, so you can softly work with them, elevate them, make better decisions, make happier decisions in an easier way without falling into the like slog of the heavy mental thinking that generally is a toxic cycle that hasn't been worked through. Now they're showing it to me like pipes, like in plumbing, like pipes that haven't had a lot of water running through them I don't know the specific terms for this. Like, what is it? Like mineral buildup, right? On the inside of the pipes and then the, I don't know. it makes it so that the hole in the pipe is like really small, so like less current can run through, less flow. That's kind of similar with spirit. So when you make better decisions, when you start working within your Akashic records, they are just subconsciously bringing your attention to making better decisions, which is to unclog the pipes and allow more source flow into your daily waking life. The more source flow you can embody, hold, absorb, and allow to move through and channel you through you in any during any day, the happier you're gonna be. And they're like, give the concrete example. So as a concrete example, a lot of people think I'm very playful, and that I don't know if it looks like I'm working. I certainly am. I'm just very playful about my work. That's because I have a huge source pipe coming into my body. I have trained my body through many, many, many years to hold a high level of light current, of light song, source song, if you will, vibrational frequency in my body. And I have trained myself over many years very diligently to express source through me in whatever way source wants to move without me trying to control or manipulate the expression, which is why you'll see a video like this, which for me can feel a little more vulnerable. It's a little funky because I don't always know exactly what's going to be said and how, and if that's exactly how I want to communicate it. But it's not up to me, it's up to source. And so I guess let's break that back down again. So it's like the pipe of allowing source in. Then there's the saturation of being able to hold source frequency constantly in your body, and how much capacity do you have to hold or absorb. And then there's the act of the expression out of your heart and out of your solar plexus. It's really like here. Oh, actually, of course, out of your throat as well. How much are you willing to express? How good are you at expression? Can you express at the same capacity as the amount of flow that comes in through your crown, as the amount that you can embody? And I guess I've never thought about it this way, but I have perfected each level of this process for myself. Like for years, I just focused on the flow of allowing the most amount of source into my body. Then for years, I focus on just the embodiment. Like, how do I hold it? Which really came down to my diet, no substance use, like very clean in every way. And then there's the ability to express, which is just like a whole nother set of skills. And I constantly am focusing on getting out of my way and allowing source to express however it wants, regardless of what my ego thinks about it. I try to ask them, I'm like, will you just, do something within my ego range maybe? So I don't like freak out and quit. They know that with me. Okay, where else do you guys want to take this? That has everything to do with, I don't remember where I was going with it. It's like it has everything to do with, those are actually the different levels of consciousness and integration. And again, all of this is the work that I do is in the Akashic Records. It's with the Akashic Records. It's with this specific modality. I think everyone's probably working with the Akashic Records to one degree or another. The difference is just like how conscious are you and what level of access do you have? Okay. Do you guys want to say anything else? You want to go into more of a trance channel? I'm going to look at my time too, actually. Okay. They just said to me, they said, okay, you've fallen on your sword. You can go play now. Like, now I'm like, okay, what do you mean other than relax? And I feel so much better about relaxing than having to like communicate the stoic nature. They're also showing me this tarot card I pulled before I jumped on stream is the victory card. And she's just like, what's up? Like, have some fun. That they're telling me that's the carrot. If you like how I am, who I am, how I express, then you will enjoy my ascension practice. And my work with the Akashic Records is more specifically oriented towards a play practice. Because why not? Why not? You know where that came from too, is the fact that I am always and always have been so willing to be disciplined, and and I've been so disciplined throughout my life. That, like, I don't know, I've earned my play. So now I get to be so playful, but it's just like, I guess it depends on which side of the ascension scale you come on. Either you come in the way where you have to be disciplined in order to earn it through, or you come in the way of playing and then learning discipline. You gotta learn all of it regardless at some point. It's just like, where do you want to start and what do you want you to be your main, like, practice? I'm just tuning in with them again to see if there's anything else they want to bring through. They want to make an adjustment on the sacred invitation that they've brought through. So I'm going to do my best to just tune in and then say what's coming through, because they asked me not to stream it through as a normal channel. Okay, so here's what they're saying first. It's not what you say, but how you say it. Okay, so what's the adjustment that needs to be made? You need to remove the bite from the language. Okay, so it's all, let me see again. Did I over dramatize it? Yes, in a way. Okay, so they're saying it's because of my nature of who I am. It just feels like it's two ends of the spectrum, but they're telling me actually, and they want me to make this adjustment so that you guys can have a full awareness and understanding, and I can feel it in my heart space. The Akashic Records they're showing me it in the heart space, and they're showing me it as a very neutral party. Like, there is no heavy hand and there's no, like, favor per se. They're just like, they're just there and they're just holding your hand. I do see them as chaperones. They are generally in what, like right now they're showing me them in white hoods. They're a neutral third party to hold space for you and hold your hand to do your ascension work without punishment. I don't know why they're using that word specifically. I think probably because I swung on both sides of the equation energetically. They are not punishing. They are not menacing. I guess when I say stoic, like, I guess I get a little freaked out. Not freaked out, but like it's so not me that I swing the other way. I become the jester in the room. But they know that I can do my work too, so that it's like, it's almost like they don't mind. But let me just tap it. They're literally tapping me on the shoulder. Say it again. How you will know that this methodology is right for you. You'll know what's right based on the feeling in your heart. Is your heart singing or does it feel dampened? If your heart feels like it's singing, if you feel a softening, if you feel an opening, then this is the right work for you. The Akashic Records are highly reverent. It is quite a privilege to access them. It does fast track your ascension work. It makes everything so much easier. Whether or not you can actually read them in the way of that a psychic would, in the way of hearing them speak directly in your ear or seeing visions, a lot of those skills are developed the more time you spend in your own Akashic Records, which is done through a meditation practice, which I've got some videos on my channel and also the training linked below that you can access how to do that. It's a very gentle, soft awakening process where you kind of just like naturally get smarter. You naturally get more intuitive. You naturally are able to think in more abstract ways and have full comprehension of abstract thought. That is not something I had inherently when I was young. That is something that developed through my adulthood, and much more specifically through my Akashic Records work as my chosen practice of ascension work. Because the more time you spend in this space, it's an energy container. It helps you link things together. Mentally, emotionally, it almost doesn't matter where it comes through. Even if you're linking things together more emotionally, that's going to translate mentally for you being more capable, more understanding, more compassionate. It doesn't even have to come through as mental. It can come through as you being so secure in your own decision making that you just like don't need to explain yourself to anyone or anything. It can be really subtle and you just vibing with something or not vibing with something and not making it mean anything. Just choosing what you're vibing with, like choosing what resonates. And they're settling all of my energy down to express and explain to you guys, because they wanted to make an adjustment on how I was describing everything, that it is a very subtle, very soft, very neutral energy. Now they're telling me they're neither playful nor stoic. I perceive them as stoic, just for you guys to know. But they're saying they're neither playful nor stoic. They're a neutral middle ground, here to help you, to guide you, to bring your attention and your awareness to the things that are causing you harm, so that you can see the cycles more clearly without the crud of, it's almost like collective toxicity, like, which is like to work outside of the Akashic Records. It's just like there's a lot of interference, so it's hard to see the patterns. So they gently bring your awareness to the patterns so that you can resolve your own karma, which is resolved through your understanding of how you act and what happens based on your actions. And then the opening of, once you understand cause and effect, then there's the opening of, okay, well, what do I prefer? Who am I? There's also the expression of the soul coming through, which that data is a little more easily accessible for many of you in the Akashic Records, just because you don't have as much familiarity with your own soul blueprint or soul signature, soul song. So when you hear it in different places, you're not quite sure, you wouldn't know whether or not it's you, because you haven't been attuned to it, like a tuning fork. Like, I wish I had one right now. You hit the tuning fork, it vibrates a sound. Let's say this tuning fork is you, it's your soul, right? So then once you hear it, once you know that vibration, you know what is for your soul moving forward for everything. But without that tuning, you're kind of like just running around in the dark going like, I wonder what's for me, what's not for me. I don't know what my soul is exactly. How would I know? And they're bringing me back to the simplicity of understanding that it really is, at the basic level, just spending time in your Akashic Records. That time can be 10 minutes a day. It doesn't have to be crazy. It's just a dedicated practice, just like anything else. You know, if you want to learn how to play golf, you're going to go play golf. I don't know why they're using that example. It's for someone here. You're going to go play golf a certain amount of times and learn how to do that. If you want to learn how to swim, you're going to go a certain amount of times. You're going to get an instructor. You're going to learn how to swim. There's a certain amount of repetition. Depending on the level of change you want to see in your life will depend on the level of discipline that you are encouraged to bring to the table. So they allowed me to be much more me and more dramatic earlier in the stream. This is the level playing field that they're giving me. The reality of the Akashic Records are, you will be met exactly where you are and where you want to go. If you want to completely change your life and you want a reality that is very different than your current reality. There is a very, very high level of discipline that would need to be practiced. That's why they're bringing my attention there to explain that to you guys. Like when I said I'm very playful and I was very disciplined, it's because the reality that I was given, my karmic realities, the reality of what I was born into, my childhood and everything that I grew up into as an adult, what I wanted from my life was drastically different than what my life was. So I was very, very dedicated and very disciplined. Even before I started working in the Akashic Records, I just saw a huge disconnect. I started as an entrepreneur and I was like, I'm not going to get where I want to go unless I'm willing to change absolutely everything about myself. Now, I've always been pretty intuitive. My awakening started when I was really like 20 years old. So I was always looking to integrate my soul into what I was doing. Now, we need experience like anyone in their 20s. Like y'all are catching up and getting some experience. So I got a lot of experience. I did a lot of things I didn't like, which then led me to, as I started working with the Akashic Records, which I've been doing for, I don't know, like at least 7 years. I really started saying, how can this be done in a more enjoyable way? Like, so it's creating that. So again, I'm going to circle back because I feel like I'm going in a few different directions. It's like, if there's a huge gap in between who you are or who you've been and where you want to go, if it's huge, like you're going to have to be disciplined. There's no way around that. If it's a smaller gap, you can like F around. Maybe, like, I don't know. It depends on what you want from your life. Now, there is a point, like I've done a lot of the disciplined work and they're saying if you want to play, you can play the work. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, what they channeled through me is it's not that I'm not working. It's that I have very strategically through the years said, and actually I did build this for myself and then they built the ascension practice on top of my existing ideas that I enjoyed, which were, I made a lot of decisions through my life that were, I know that I have to work a lot. Like I know that in order for me to get where I want to go, I'm going to have to put in a ton of practical effort. So then I started asking, like, how can everything I want to do for play also serve the practicality of the effort so that I can double dip everything that I do? There are pros and cons to that. I enjoy it. It is my preference. So my hobbies, my joys, my like fun happens to be everything that I want in the new reality. So by me playing, I'm working. By me working, I'm playing. I have very much mixed all territories so that I can enjoy the entire process for myself. So I'm still putting in a ton of practical effort because I know where I'm going and I know it's going to take a lot of work, but I feel like I'm just vibing. I've heard a lot of people say about me, and this is my ascension practice and what they'll likely give you access to through your own Akashic Records, is that I make personal growth look very, very easy. And I've heard that a lot. And I make identity shifts into soul self, not shifting identity for the purpose of shifting identity, changing so that you can morph into more source channeling through your body, through your personality, through your expression. That I make that also look very easy, because with identity shifts come ego deaths. And a lot of what I practice is I manage to allow myself to be so fluid with source and expression, as you've seen through this stream, so that I am able to shift my identity several times a year without necessarily big ego deaths. I have them. I've already had one this year. I'd prefer no more. I probably had 2 the year before, but I'm also moving through a lot of energy to change my life in a very drastic way. So it depends on what you want, how you want to get there, and how willing you are to put in the shifting work to become the elevated version of yourself that has the life that you want to live. Of course we are entitled to that. It just like depends on the assembly of how that works, how willing you are to put in the effort, how much you're willing to shift, how much of your previous identities are you willing to let go of, how safe can you allow it to be? Because like you guys will hear me until I'm blue in the face. Always safe. I always want to be safe. I want my leaps to be safe, my risks to be safe. I want to feel safe 24/7. I'm not into anything that doesn't feel safe. And I say that because there are a lot of ways to do spiritual growth work and they're not all safe. And I know because I've done them. So from my heart and my experience to yours, I hope it's an easeful process for you. And I send you that blessing. Can't do any more of the jolting ones. They're just, no. Okay. I'm gonna dip back in and see if there's anything else they want to channel through. I hope you guys have been enjoying this. I mean, they wanted to get the message either out to you, which is what they told me, or they just wanted me to practice speaking it. I'm not sure. But we're here for this. They just said, well done, that's sufficient. Now, I'm just going to touch on two. The way that they're speaking to me now is like different than my own personal Akashic records. My personal Akashic records are very just like, what do you want to do? like they're very fluidly custom to me. These are collective records that I'm in, so of course they're more neutral, they're more balanced, they're less expressive. And that's no discredit to the human. They allow humans to be humans. We're allowed to be like little bubbly dramatic creatures. So that's reality. Is there anything else you guys want to send through or say, or any concepts? They said we'd like to congratulate you on work well done. We just put you through the ringer. Thank you. I literally asked them before the stream, I said, is this a test? And they said, it's not a test, but you need to pass. And I said, what? But I don't want to do a test. Like, I was like, can you just give me something easy? They were like, it is easy, but you're being tested. I'm like, what? Anyway, she passed. Okay. Good job. What a process. And they're telling me, they're like, we told you to go live because it's more authentic. If you edited this all down, people would see it as something polished and perfect, when in reality, I am showing the actual process of what it is to be in integration with your soul self. I think that whole musical capacity was like a really great way of describing the soul, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm thrilled that they sent it through that way, and now that helps me understand as well. Playful Girl is here. Okay, last memos. Like, I'm afraid to be like, let's go, because they know. I'm like, whatever. Sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm just human. She's just human. They're like, we enjoy you. You're a little fire kicker. I'm like, I know. Thanks. Okay, so I'm going to stream this through. They said, if you'd like to begin your work in the Akashic Records, say that again, you guys. We're streaming through the access codes now to your crown chakra. We're going to be giving clearance based on the level of the consciousness that you're able to actively hold and embody in your body. You will not be given more access than you can handle. Think about this like they're bringing it down to alcohol, because it's just, they're literally giving me the alcohol reference as an easy reference. This is hilarious. Like, I wouldn't normally think the Akashic Records would say this, but they do. They're saying it's like being able to hold your liquor, okay? Know how much you can drink. Know how much consciousness you can hold. You don't even have to know. They are going to cater the process to you. The point is, they're saying this right now so you don't feel FOMO. Because they're saying if they were to give you a lot more light than you're accustomed to, it is like getting drunk and not being able to ground your energy, which could prevent you from Like they're not gonna do this with you, but it like could prevent you from being focused at work, from actually being able to do your daily life things that you need to do. The the more light you can hold in your body, the more energetic integrity you have. They're going to give you higher clearance levels, which will open up the pipe for the amount of source consciousness and light that is downloaded into you consciously and subconsciously, because you can hold more light. You can hold more of it. Like they're saying, that you can hold your drink. You have a larger container or a larger capacity, so that you won't float off into some clouds, that you'll actually be able to live your day-to-day life and be able to travel the interspaces of the mind and consciousness, and I don't know what I would call it, like higher, I would be like higher dimensional realities, but like for anyone normal, abstract thought, multi-dimensional, universal abstract thought, highly philosophical, metaphysical thought, which like, even example, like most of my friends we can vibe like this, but some of them I really tap out their capacity. And it's like being able to monitor that and then me slow down. It's like when you have a lot of abstract thought at one time, or a lot of abstract energy, if you're not accustomed to that container, like you're not accustomed to your drink, you can't hold your drink, it'll just make you feel drunk. It'll make you, it'll make you question your reality too much. It'll make you be like, what's the point? Like, is any of this real? Like, that's the drunk, okay? That's the like, and I'll be honest, I tip on that edge sometimes. Because I told you guys, I'm always playing on that line. I'm always on the line. Always on the line. I'm like, oh, what's too far? Is that too far? Oh, what's on this side? I'm always doing this shit. It's like how I do my work. So they will meet you with the amount of consciousness that you can comfortably hold. I always ask anything that is channeled through me, any invitation, any space in the Akashic Records, I always ask that it is safe, that it always feels safe, that it always feels comfortable. Because psychic work, intuitive work doesn't always feel comfortable, and I really want that space to be held because of the level of importance of it. We deserve comfort. We deserve little comfort blankets and unicorns and laughs, and that's why I can be a kind of a maniac in here. You know, you'll see other people read the Akashic Records in a much more stoic way, a much more reverent way. The way that I do it is because this is what makes me comfortable. This is what allows me to be willing to do this level of work, which otherwise feels heavy for me. So I like to be this way. Other people are different though. It depends on your expression. It depends on your soul frequency. It depends on your soul song. And that's all like a la carte, up to you. But anyway, they'll meet you right where you are. I'm giving you guys the Emelina show here. I love that they are catering their message in the most human way possible. They don't always do that. The Akashic Records are not known for that. I always ask for human reference points because, I mean, for example, like they just sent through all that data around drinking. Like, that's not what the Akashic Records do. That's like, they were like, we know Emelina's gonna ask for the more concrete, practical way of explaining something at like a 5th grade reading level. And I'm not saying that to be disingenuous. It's just literally like all newspapers in the country are written to a 5th grade reading level. The point is, I'm asking for the reference points that would be the most accessible to the most amount of people to understand the metaphysical data as quickly as possible without having to try to, what is this again? What? And like have your brain explode. Like there's no point. Give it to me simple. They said, can you hold your drink? I'm like, oh, that's beautiful. That's easy. Okay. You guys drink some water. This is a transmission. And a transmission just means like you're being given access to energy and codes and awareness from your soul, embodying and integrating more of your soul into your experience right now. And with that is like a vibrational shift. There could be a little detox. Don't be dehydrated, drink some water, be gentle, maybe journal. That is what I've got. If you enjoyed this video or you are interested in checking out your Akashic records, it's really not crazy. It's a pretty easy meditation practice. And I've got a whole bunch of training videos in the link in the description below. So go get a hold of that. Vibe with them, enjoy them. They're easy, they're breezy, they're fun. One of the videos in there too is an Arcturian starseed transmission channel around the Akashic records. It's like quite literally my favorite. I think you guys are really going to love that as well. Like this video, share it with a friend, leave a comment below, tell me what you thought, where it resonated, anything you want to know about the good old AR. And yeah, if you guys love my vibe, love the way that I work, my personality, all the ways I explain and describe things, I'd love to invite you to work with me. The first thing I think you guys are going to dig are my 2 meditation albums. I have an Akashic Records guided meditation album that takes you through your own Akashic records, some past life, parallel life regressions, etc. And I've also got the I Am Success meditations, which are healing activations that I created as a shaman that actually retrain your energy fields for wealth, health, and success. That's what I've got there. I also have some beautiful deep dive one-on-one transformation programs, the Transformation Accelerator, which is life coaching in combination with personal branding in a really deep way. And then I've got the Phoenix, which is the core self-trust confidence program with life coaching. So if any of that sounds like your jam, I will leave some description links after the live below and you can check them out. My website is IMMELINA.com. I'm gonna do a quick skim through your comments, but as you guys know, I really love you. I love your presence. I love that you're here. I love that this is my work. I don't know how I did it. I made lots of good decisions. I made lots of bad decisions too, and you know, I learned from them. So just being real. Okay. Oh, hi you guys. Amazing. Oh, I'm happy you guys enjoyed this. Okay, that's all I've got. I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, weekend, weekday, whenever you see this video. Lots of love. Thank you for joining me. Until the next video, I will see you soon. Okay, peace.